couldn't be here today, but wish to share memories of Janie. From Judy Wood Riley. My best memories of Janie were not the big splashy numbers as our class wrapped up fame and fortune for our skit and blazer music. The best memories were the evening sessions after supper in Cowles Hall when we sang popular Broadway and class songs. It set the tone for evening fun, study, or sleep. Nice to end the day humming a song that brought a smile, a chuckle, or a laugh. And I think we can all underline Judy's thoughts on that. Wonderful memories. From Theo Shayak Mulgrim. My roommate, the late Mary Kay Brown, was a member of 12 Myrons. They were so wonderful and enriched our college life. I always look forward to hearing them. I remember Janie's upbeat personality, her energy, her musical talent, and drive. I can see her conducting the singing. I also remember her leadership abilities at our reunions. She was quite an amazing woman. And then from Sabra Allen Avery. This ceremony for Janie sounds like a wonderful event for one of our favorite classmates. I would love to attend this event and pay my respects to her and all the unforgettable members of our class. Unfortunately, my traveling capacity is limited, but I will try to cock my ear toward Elmira to catch your voices singing in the wind. Enjoy the fine time that is in store and give my best to all. I hope you will join in singing "We Will Overcome" to salute our class of 1960 Civil Rights March.
This is from Mary Beth, better known as Murr Ferris Patterson. I think I first became aware of Janie as she played the piano in Cowles Hall, Cowles Lawns, now called the Octagon, either before or after dinner in Bassett's Commons. She would just sit down, start playing, and gals would be drawn to the piano and start singing. I never hear Scotch and Soda or Tom Dooley without thinking of those times in full. And then there were the class songs. I don't know what came first, the music or the words. And Ronnie can't seem to remember either. But I do know who taught their class to sing the music and the words, and that was Janie. She put those words of us, who couldn't find a tune, next to someone who could, and we practiced and practiced. Those performances didn't just happen. She drove us. And I guess it finally took because senior year we won everything. Elmira then was very different than it is now. Of course there were no male students, but it was also smaller and much more steeped, it seems to me, in traditions. Each year we had to do a complete musical skit with original words and music for winter weekend, many songs. Every year we had to do a competitive song from fairy chanters. Every year we had to write and perform an original song for senior weekend. And our senior year, we had to do an original song to each class, our parents, and Elmira. We had to come up with a blazer song from our freshman year to introduce our camel blazers to the college. We had to come up with an original song to introduce the faculty couple we had chosen as our patron saints. We had to sing new songs to our buddies, both the buddies we chose and those who chose us. Yes, there was the singing at dinner and around the piano, but there were many competitions in song. But we didn't do this. The class of 60 didn't do this. Janie and Ronnie did this. As they were called in the 1959 senior weekend edition of the Octagon, the Rogers and Hammerstein of Elmira. And after the songs were written, Janie called us to whatever lounge and drilled the song into us. And we loved getting that on. Singing was an Elmira thing. And the class of the 1960s, the lead singer was Jane. I was a member of Elmira, and I will never forget the music, the words, the song, the heartfelt music that she wrote. And I miss her terribly. It was just a very, very beautiful film. Jill?
I want to read some comments from another Jane. Jane Woodlashen Shepherd, class of 1960. She wrote, Longfellow wrote, music is the universal language of mankind. Indeed, music, specifically singing, has long been one of the great traditions of Elmira College and its educational experience. As student sisters in the years 1956 to 1960, as you've been hearing, we were taught songs for special occasions, songs for competitions, songs for fun, and songs to be sung in the dining room. Even those whose voices were compromised sang without fear of retribution, fostering an atmosphere of togetherness. And I have to add personally that I can't claim membership in any of the myriad singing groups that we had here, because I just could not sing. But under Janie's encouragement, I sang lustily and happily all the time. His chapel window, Janie Woodlashen goes on to say, symbolizes beautifully the importance of singing at Elmira College. Characterized at the center of this vignette is a person whose extraordinary musical talent in the art and composition of music and singing is now immortalized, Jane Frances Wagner. Jane utilized her leadership qualities from the start of our freshman year and was always eager to lead us in a song or two. Cowles Hall was our dormitory freshman year, and often before going into the dining room, there'd be a group of us around the piano singing, and I must add, smoking, while Jane played all our favorite songs. She was instrumental in rearranging familiar tunes or writing original ones for such occasions as senior weekend, Blazer Day, the introduction of our patron saints, buddies, and the myriad of winter weekend skit songs that spanned all 4 years. Perhaps Janie's most important contribution to our musical education was as artistic director of the 12 Elmirans, Elmira's smallest and only a cappella singing group that entertained for many colleges and civic organizations as well as at campus function. Janie arranged many of the songs the group sang and was even known to awaken in the night to write on her staff of paper when she had a particularly good idea. Janie was the song chairman of the class of 60. I know it's with great pride and admiration that Janie's family, friends, and classmates in the class of 1960 give this gift in honor of Jane Frances Wagner for her accomplishments and dedication to singing at Elmira College.
I'd like to invite Carl Wagner to come up and say a few words. Mr. James Wagner.
Yeah, that's true. I tended to call myself Mr. James Wagner around here. Knowing what I know about you gals from the class of 60, I think she was less of a leader and more of a rabble-rouser. In all honesty. Georgine asked me if I would talk about Janie's days at reunions and meeting all of you all and so forth. But I thought you might be interested in knowing kind of where her music went after she left Elmira. Some of you do know. When I was in the Navy, she was choir director and organist for a church, and even sang as a guest choirs in other areas. Occasionally, she would get her father, who some of you know had a beautiful tenor voice, sang professionally, to sing along with her in the church choir as a guest singer. She actually joined the chorus of alumni and friends at the University of Richmond for a while, which is those of you know the University of Richmond is headquartered in Richmond. And her claim to fame, so to speak, is she was part of that choir when it was guest directed by, I can't remember his name now. No, that's terrible. I'm going to write it down. I should. The famous director, choir director from Robert Shaw.
Robert Shaw.
Robert Shaw was guest director of the Chorus of Alumni and Friends of the University of Richmond for several performances that she sang in that. But interestingly enough, after that, she gave up music. Pretty much totally gave up music, in spite of the fact that most of us continued to try to get her to be involved in music. She would not even play the piano for friends anymore, for some reason. And I think it was politics that she got involved with and found that that was a bigger venue to raise rabbit, so to speak. One of the things you talk about in the program that the class of 1960 would like to thank our family for helping to make this a reality. But in all honesty, our family would like to thank the class of 1960 because it was the class of 1960 that really took that challenge from the college to heart and make that happen. And as a final piece of that, we have pledged Janie's small IRA that she had formed years ago. We had pledged the corpus of that IRA to the university. So I have a check for Dr. Champagne here for $45,000 that I'm going to present to you as you help you with the class. Hopefully, we can get some scholarships from them.
Wow, thank you. We have for you a piece of history. Recordings of songs performed by the 12 Irons that have been preserved, and if you would listen in. Janie was the soloist for this recording as well as the leader of the 12 Irons. Thank you, Janie.
Now at this time, it gives me great pleasure to present to you President Ron Champagne. He holds a bachelor's degree from Duquesne University and a master's degree and PhD from Fordham University in the foundations of mathematics and physics. He was president for 16 years at 4 different colleges and senior vice president for development for the National Alzheimer's Disease and Related Disorders Association. He has also had a long career of teaching and scholarly work in the fields of mathematics and physical science.
Thank you very much. It's really a privilege as president of Elmira College to welcome family and friends to this very, very special day. It's special because it's the first. And as first, it will be always memorable when we dedicate a very special honor to Janie. When you think about a college, when you look at this college, you see many, many beautiful buildings. It is a very beautiful college. But it's not the buildings that make the college. It's the heart of the college that makes it a college. It's the traditions, it's the legacies. Traditions, traditio, it's what's handed on, generation after generation. It's the legacy. Comes from Lego, the Latin word meaning you read, you see and you read. You come to college as a teenager, and Janie was a teenager. You leave college transformed as a young adult. When Janie came here, it was an interesting time. The end of the 50s, going into the 60s. What a tumultuous time that is. It's enough being a teenager, going through that dramatic transformation into adulthood. But it was really something during those days. Henry Adams once said about education, college education, a teacher touches infinity. Because you never know where that teacher's influence ends. Elmira College and Janie touched one another. And they made music. They made beautiful music together. We don't call the college alma mater by accident. It means dear mother. When you think of that concept, you never forget your mother. And Janie never forgot her college. She made such beautiful music together. She then fell in love with Carl. They made beautiful music also. But you never forget those very important years when you're in college. Those teachers and their influence goes on forever. So it's very much my privilege and my pleasure. First, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the entire college community, the faculty, the students who are here now as teenagers going through adulthood, on behalf of the administration and so on, I want to thank the families and friends of Janie for their wonderful, generous gift that will enable them to really be touched by Elmira College. So it's now my pleasure to dedicate this very special Thank you so much.
Well, we were the same class, weren't we? I think it is so appropriate to call Linda singing Linda at Elmira College. Because it is that. And we do remember Janie for that. I remember many times when Janie would play the piano and several of us would just gather around and sing whatever she was playing. Whether we really knew it or not, we kind of crawl and see if we could sing the words. She was also a talented songwriter. I think that the class of 1970 was often called the singing class because of Janie. She had a musical gift, and she was able to share it with the rest of the class. Now, if you will join me reading the words on your insert that you have, these words were written by Janie Francis and Ronnie Kirsch for the 1957 Senior Weekend Song. When Father Time gives us his sign, we know we'll have to say goodbye to you, our sisters who have helped us on our way. The days are swift, and though we'll drift, some of us are far apart. The memories remain, you see, so deep within our hearts. Unspoken words are often heard, and so we'll barely say, a later saying, we'll meet again. We'll meet again someday. Thank you all for